One day we see our hero Mofin, and we learn that he is in a magic school in the 3rd grade, and he is very bad at it and has an exam, and as usual, he left first without solving anything. He was very frustrated, and we also learn that he just entered the school 3 months ago, so naturally, he wouldn't understand anything about magic. And he was originally an ordinary person until he met a strange man, who gave him a necklace through which he discovered his magical power. From then on, everything changed. His friends come out of the exam and walk behind him, mocking him that he doesn't understand anything at all. And they talk about their friend in college whose name is Mabai, and we learn that he has very strong magical abilities and is also good at the magic subject and has high grades. They compare him to Mofin, and he becomes arrogant, making indirect remarks to Mofin, saying that those who fail in an easy exam like this shouldn't dream of being magicians, that this is just simple training in magic. And also, Mabai specializes in ice magic, like his whole family, which is one of the richest and most powerful families as well. And that controlling ice is difficult, but what's harder than it is controlling fire. Mofin leaves the school and we find his father, named Xing, waiting for him outside all this time to check on how he did. He asks him, how was the exam? So Mofin tells him it was a hard test and that most likely he didn't pass. His father understood and told him it's not a problem, then gave him something, saying, I found you a job close to our city, and the salary isn't bad, and we understand that Mofin comes from a rather poor family. His father tells him he needs to work and depend on himself, so Mofin becomes sad and tells him he wants to focus on his studies and wants to learn magic, as that is his life goal. His father got upset and told him, you have high ambitions, but unfortunately not everything we dream of comes true, and the idea that his level is below acceptable and that he still needs around 300 points to pass the exam, which will take a lot of time and effort. So his father thinks about it, and so as not to upset him, tells him, I will help you find a way to pass and develop yourself in magic. So Mofin became very happy and told him, I will live up to your expectations and become a great magician. Mofin meets his friend Jiang in the street and goes with him, and Jiang tells him that their little princess Shui came back in the morning and that she has become more beautiful and prettier. Mofin doesn't care about the matter and leaves, so Jiang runs after him and asks why he's not happy about it. While they are walking home, Mofin sees his father standing with a very important person, begging him to let Mofin enter the magic school and that his son's future depends on his word. The man replies that he could have helped him, but his son ran away with the son of Mr. Zhou and wasn't studying or caring about school, so it's impossible to help him again after that incident. Xing defends his son, telling him that he came to his senses at the last moment and came back in a short time before anything big happened, and also that he was young and not old enough to understand the matter. He begs him and says, for the sake of the years between me and your family, the Mo family, help me this time only, and my son will truly be up to it. But the man is cold-hearted and tells him, a failure will remain a failure, and you should have prepared for this moment earlier and taught your son better than that. And he tells him, if I hadn't covered for you last time, you would have been in prison. So Xing tells him he's ready to do anything, just accept him into the magic school. The man from the Mo family is pleased, as if seizing the opportunity, and tells him, if you are ready to do anything, Mr. Mo himself wants you to move from here for a short while. He tells him that acceptance into a magic high school requires a huge amount of money, so how about giving him his house? And then he might think about the matter of acceptance, and that his house now has no value, he just wants the land it's built on. And all this while Mofin was standing watching them from afar, but he couldn't hear. Still, he realized that there is no place for the weak in these times. People like them are now stepped on by people like the Mo family. Mofin sits with Xing, who tells him he solved the problem of his acceptance to the university and that he will be accepted. Mofin replies, asking how, because it's very hard for someone to be accepted, and also, he didn't solve anything in the exam. Xing tells him he knows an old friend who is currently the school principal, and he made the matter easier for him. He advises him to study well and take care of his future, and Xing refuses to tell him that all this is in exchange for his house, instead fooling him and telling him he will rent the house and take him and his sister to stay in a dorm. And all this time, Mofin is silent and not comfortable with what's happening. Xing brings up the subject of the little princess, and we learn that she is Mofin's old friend, and it's clear she had been traveling for a long time and has returned. But Mofin tells him that right now, he's not thinking about anything except studying and magic and that he wants to go to the magic school and make a lot of money to spend on his father and little sister. He tells him, your son will be the most famous magician in the world, remember that, and Xing is very happy with his son's joy, feeling he finally fulfilled his dream. Mofin finishes dinner with his father Xing, goes into his room, and writes his old friend's name, and it's clear he hasn't forgotten her at all. He remembers their old memories when she told him, take me and bring me anywhere, I don't want to go back home, and Mofin took her to a far place so as not to upset her. But as soon as he brought her back, a huge problem happened between the two families, and Mr. Mo, her father, threatened him that if he crossed her path again, he would harm him and his family badly. And Mofin's sadness and frustration are clear, and also that he is poor and she is from a rich family, so it's impossible from every side. We come to the first day in the magic school, the opening day for students, and we learn that on the first day, each student will awaken their element and find out which element and category they belong to, and the students are very nervous. They all want the fire element because it is the strongest among all the elements, but in the end, it depends on luck and also on their power. Mofin is hearing all this, feeling hopeless and thinking he won't be able to do anything. But his friend keeps encouraging him a lot, telling him, "I'm sure you'll awaken a strong element," and supports him greatly. The students enter the classrooms, and the teacher explains to them that the school badge is very important to wear, because after they awaken their elements, the badge will light up with the color of their element, and he hands them out. He tells them that if they awaken the wind element, it will light up green, if fire, it will light up red, and if light, the color will be golden. When the teacher is distributing the badge to them, it's Mofin's turn, and he gives it to him, but one of the students interrupts and tells the teacher this is Mofin, and he entered illegally. Jiang stands up and defends him, telling him to leave him alone, but the student responds, saying everyone knows Mofin's grades were bad in the entrance exam, so how was he accepted into the school, and tells him that if his element awakening fails, he will leave the school with no return. But Jiang continues encouraging him, looking at him and telling him, "I'm sure you'll awaken the strongest element," but the student mocks him, saying that if he awakens the weakest element, which is light, then that would be more than enough for him. The students go out one by one to summon their element, and of course, the teacher starts with Mabai because he is the best among them and his element turns out to be the expected one, ice. He tells them that after the summoning, the number of stars on the badge will show their level and ability in summoning the element. Most people's stars don't light up due to their weak strength, but Mabai's lights up with 1 star, which is proof his power is higher than normal people. All the students come out, and none of their badges' stars light up except Mabai's, and it's Mofin's turn. He comes out and starts summoning, but he doesn't know what to do, and all the students laugh at him, but the teacher tells him and guides him, and Mofin focuses hard. He starts summoning his element but takes a long time to the point where everyone is bored. Mofin tries to focus, and suddenly a huge purple color appears, and he understands that he has summoned the power of lightning, which is a very rare element. But no one notices it because they are watching what happened in the class next to them. The rate of lightning summoning is 1 for every 1,000 students, and Mofin starts to focus more and more and summons a second element, which is fire. The students are shocked by him and wonder how the failure Mofin summoned one of the strongest elements of all, which is fire, not knowing that he also managed to summon lightning, and Mofin decided to hide this matter temporarily until he masters both elements and surprises them with them. And after 2 months pass, the teacher gives them a lecture about how to make the badge's stars light up, telling them that there are 7 stars and they must focus all their will to control them, and this is the first step in the life of any strong magician. He tells them they must gather all the stars and harness them to build a star path, and if they lose, they start over from the beginning, so they must focus hard. The teacher calls on Mabai and tells him to come and show them how to harness the stars, and he seems very confident in him. He tells him to start controlling his senses and harnessing the stars and to summon the power of ice, and Mabai manages to harness 5 stars, and the teacher is very proud of him as he is the one who has harnessed the most stars so far. The teacher tells them that these are levels and differ from one person's talent to another, and they also must train a lot and have the will to control every star. They all look at Mofin, who is actually sleeping, and they wake him up to find he is still at the first star. If he stays there, he will be expelled from the school because his talent is still not present, and as usual, Mofin leaves them and walks away as if he didn't hear anything. He walks among many girls, but he is only thinking about his old love and trying to forget her any way he can. Mofin goes to a place to train so he can control all the stars and also to develop the lightning element that no one knows about. We discover that Mofin is at the first star of the fire element, but all this time he has been developing the lightning element and has reached the 5th star. While he is training, he hears the sound of a gang, so he goes to see what's happening and finds that a gang is harassing his little sister Xian, and Xian tries to stop him, telling him they are many more than them and he won't be able to take them on, but Mofin doesn't listen to her and walks away. He goes to the gang, and they start laughing at him, and the gang leader tells him, "Who convinced you that you can take us on and that he is weak and can be taken down alone?" We understand that the gang is bothering his sister because the leader likes her and she refuses to be with him. This makes Mofin angrier and he summons all the lightning element and manages to reach the 7th star, and he starts attacking them all with lightning. The gang becomes very afraid of him and starts apologizing to him, so he lets them go, and his sister is amazed that he finally managed to summon the lightning element to the 7th star. Mabai thinks he is the strongest one with his achievement of the 5th star and conspires with his uncle, who is the owner of the magic school, that if Mofin fails in the final test, they will expel him from the school immediately, and surely he couldn't rise above the 1st star, not knowing what's inside and what Mofin is hiding still. Mofin hears that monsters have started appearing at night and that the job of magicians is to save humans from these monsters, and Mofin starts to worry about his father because he drives at night, and he becomes more motivated to train the fire element and raise the level so he can save more people and kill all the monsters that threaten their lives. Xian goes and asks Mofin if he belongs to the black organization, so he asks her, "What's that?" She tells him it's an organization that helps students train faster but is an evil organization, and since he mastered the lightning element in a short time, she suspected him, but Mofin told her not to worry and that all this is his own effort. Mofin starts to think that if he shows the power of lightning now, they will think of him like his sister did and he will fall into big trouble, so he decides to keep the matter secret until enough time passes, and he starts to train on the power of fire and show it for now so he doesn't get expelled from the school. He makes his sister promise not to tell anyone about the lightning element no matter what, and Mofin arrives at the school the next day to find that the one giving them is a new teacher, and it seems all the students like her very much. She tells Mofin to sit down and that he came late, no time for shock. Her name is Tang, and she will be their magic teacher from now on, and it's clear she is very strong. She starts to display her power and shows them she can harness the fire element very well, and they are all shocked by her strength. She shows them one of the most important attributes of the fire element, which is ignition, and starts to teach all the fire students. Mabai goes to his uncle and asks him if he will really make the school expel him, saying that he feels his abilities aren't weak enough to be expelled. His uncle changes the subject and gives him a black stone, so Mabai is surprised and asks him, "What's this?" His uncle replies, "This is a stone that absorbs energy and auras." He tells him that the stone will absorb all the power of the stars and make him weak enough and make his marks go below zero, and this way he will be expelled immediately. He is supposed to put this stone on the crystal they summon energy from, so Mabai replies, "But we will all use the crystal and all of us will be weakened, not just Mofin." His uncle tells him that the supervisor will be him and that he will check the crystal every time before any student uses it, and he will make sure to put it in Mofin's turn only and remove it before the next student, and Mabai agrees with him, and they both conspire against him. It shows how much the two of them hate Mofin, and we go to Mofin, who is trying to train with all his strength and trying to connect to the star path to summon all his power but can't, and with a month left until the magic test, he is still at the 5th star and he only wants to unleash the magic skill completely. Mofin feels that all his energy has been drained at once and he is unable to summon any power, and he thinks that his amount of energy is not enough and that the test is originally based on the amount of energy. Mofin relaxes and tries to think about what he will do. We come to the month of exams, and the teacher stands in front of them and explains that the crystal measures the amount of magical energy, and the more energy there is, the more the crystal will shine, and that the evaluation will be based on the amount of brightness, and that the grades range from excellent to acceptable, and whoever gets acceptable will be expelled immediately from the school. He tells them that it is very difficult for students to unleash magic and obtain 7 stars within a year, so this test will be optional. For now, they should only focus on the amount of energy they have and concentrate all their strength in magic. If any student passes the optional magic test, they will be able to use all the magic equipment the school has provided, which will speed up their magic training. All the students stand for the crystal test, and the judges and teachers come out to introduce themselves to the students, and we find that among them is Professor Imo and his daughter, Mofin's old love Shue, and we learn that Shue entered the magic school, excelled in it, was able to harness all her power, and became a true ice magician. Everyone admires Shue's cold features and natural beauty, and they are impressed by her speed in unleashing and using all ice magic, and a student responds, saying they discovered her when she was 15 years old. Mabai knows about what happened between Shue and Mofin and is happy that he will be able to get Mofin expelled and embarrassed in front of her. Shue keeps looking into Mofin's eyes, and everyone notices this, and Shue thinks that she will do everything she can to keep Mofin in the school and help him achieve his dream. Shue begins her magic demonstration, and as soon as she holds the crystal, she freezes it and freezes everything around her, and everyone is amazed by her great power and applauds her, while Mofin has a cold expression and doesn't clap for her, but he is very happy for her. All the students start to go up for the test, and they are all very worried and afraid they might not be in the new school year, but the teacher reassures them and tells them that as long as they trained well, they will get good grades, boosting their confidence. It's Zhang's turn, and he goes up and gets the highest grade, then requests to take the optional test and becomes the first to do it. He manages to harness all the power of wind, but in the end, he fails, and the students laugh at him and he loses hope. But teacher Tang comes and reassures him, telling him that with some training he will be able to do it, and Xiao tells her that he will give it his all. Next is Mabai's turn, and he is the strongest among them, getting the highest grade, which is S, stronger than A. He requests to take the optional magic test and succeeds in it with great strength as well. The teachers ask Professor Imo and his daughter for their opinion, and they approve, but Shue says he is acceptable, clearly not liking him at all. Finally, it is Mofin's turn, and Imo tells his daughter they have to leave, but Shue tells him she will stay and see Mofin, and Imo is very confident in Mofin's failure. Indeed, someone from the judging panel places the black stone under the crystal, and Mabai and his uncle are happy and waiting eagerly to see Mofin expelled from the school in front of Shue, certain that Shue's hope will be greatly disappointed. Mofin goes up and places his hand on the crystal, and the black stone absorbs all the energy as expected, and everyone from Professor Imo to Mabai and the students mocks him. But something strange happens. Mofin manages to break the black stone, and his remaining energy goes to the crystal, which shines brightly, earning him a very good grade, and all the students are shocked that Mofin scored higher than them, and this was only half of his energy. But teacher Zhang notices that the crystal has a flaw and knows that this is not Mofin's level, and Shue agrees with her, telling them to change the crystal and that Mofin must retake the test. The teachers tell teacher Zhang that she has the right to have him retake the test as the student's supervisor and teacher, but it will be under her full responsibility, and if the crystal has nothing wrong and he gets the same grade, she will bear the responsibility. Zhang agrees and tells him to retake the test, and the students think that Mofan's level is lower and say, yes, the crystal must have a flaw because Mofan should have scored below 0, not a good grade like that, not knowing the truth. As soon as the crystal is changed and Mofan places his hand on it, it emits a very strong light, and he scores an S grade, shocking them all, and they say, how did Mofan manage that? All the teachers are impressed by his ability, and his crystal's brightness is much greater than Mabai's, and teacher Zhang and Shui are very happy for him and had confidence in him from the start. Mofan requests to take the optional magic test, and Mabai says his strength surely hasn't exceeded 4 stars and that he will definitely fail it and can't possibly be like him. While he is thinking to himself, Mofan crushes everything around him with the power of fire, managing to get all the stars, and everyone is amazed by his immense power that has been revealed. They are shocked that he is higher than Mabai and that he managed to achieve that grade and that brightness strength, and everyone is talking in astonishment. Supervisor Zhou says to Mabai's uncle that it seems Mofan is also from the Mo family, so he replies to him, saying, of course not, he's just the son of a nobody driver and he is very irritated. Zhou replies to him, saying that he managed to be superior without anyone helping or motivating him, and that he is talented and put in a great deal of effort, and we shouldn't forget that. Professor Mo and his daughter agree with this and call Mofan, telling him, well done, and that he is amazed at everything that happened, and that he will put their differences aside as long as Supervisor Zhou is pleased with him and has placed great trust and high hopes on him, and that he will be able to raise the school's reputation. He tells him that they have resources for fire magicians and that he will give them all to him to make training easier. Here his brother becomes very irritated and says to him, and Mabai also got an S grade and was able to harness all his power. He gets nothing, but he is told he still needs some training. He looks at Mofan and tells him that with the help of his daughter Shui, his future will be bright, and he is sure of that. All this time, Mofan is calm, but suddenly he explodes at him, telling him that he is not under his command and will not be a slave to the Mo family, and not to treat him well only when he wants, and besides that, he belittles him and his father, and he starts shouting at him so much that Professor Mo becomes enraged. This makes him harness ice and freeze everything around him from his anger. Supervisor Zhou tries to step in, telling Mofan to calm down and that they are in the school and must respect elders, but Mofan acts as if he doesn't hear anyone and continues talking to Mo, telling him, because of you, for 3 years we have been suffering until now, and I still haven't seen any apology to this day. Mo replies to him, you and your father are not important to me, do you expect me to apologize to you? He tells him, and you too are not important, and if you had been old enough at the time, I would have acted and stopped you from taking my family's property. Mo replies to him, saying, you've become arrogant because you are the best in the school, and if you think that with these rates you will become a great magician, you are wrong. Everyone tries to step in to calm things again, and Mabai's uncle tells Mo to calm down because he is trying to provoke him and make him look wrong. He tells him he wants to make him look like a monster in front of the students, so calm down completely, and they will have him expelled for insulting him as an honored guest. Supervisor Zhou defends him, saying it's just a discussion and they cannot expel Mofan for such a reason, and no one can expel his students without his approval. Mabai steps in even though it has nothing to do with him. He tells him he will step in and make a match between him and Mofan, and he will crush him and make him learn how to respond to Professor Mo in that way. But Professor Mo says, my son Yang will fight you, and that way it will be fair. Supervisor Zhou tells Mofan, I suggest you apologize to him now, you're not ready for what will happen. But Mofan becomes even more stubborn. He tells him, I agree to the battle, and if I win, Mr. Mo will apologize to me and my father, but if I lose, I will fully submit to the Mo family and apologize to them. But teacher Zhang tells them that the law of magicians does not allow magicians under 18 years old to fight, so if they will fight, they must wait 2 years until they reach the legal age. All this time, Shui is proud of Mofan and his reaction and looks at him and smiles, and the professor says that he has 2 years from now to train because he will crush him in the battle, and that he will lose anyway. He takes Shui and leaves. We learn that Yang, the second son of the Mo family, is much stronger than Mabai, but Mofan is not worried because he has not forgotten the lightning power he has and that he will be able to defeat him no matter his strength. Mofan thinks that the battle is still 2 years away, but Mo will have prepared the full environment to train Yang while Mofan does not, so he must train twice as hard. Mofan is unable to repay all the favors his father has done for him, but he is sure he will be able to restore his father's dignity that was taken by the Mo family soon and will do everything he can. We move to the new school term after the students pass the crystal test. The teachers for the second class are Tang and Shui, and they announce the top rankings, with Mofan taking first place. They introduce teacher Tang, and she introduces herself again, telling them she will still be with them until the second term and will guide them, and she hopes she will get along with them. The students like her very much and admire her skill and the way she deals with them, and the teacher starts showing them their equipment according to each rate. Not all students will use all the equipment. The teacher tells Mofan that the school has decided to shorten his equipment usage time because he disrespected Mr. Mo, so he will have to hand in his equipment after only 10 days of training. He must hand it in after 10 days and not delay. To a student of the 4th level, he tells the rest of the students that there are only 3 pieces of equipment available and that they must share them among themselves and figure it out so that everyone uses them. And if anything happens to the magic equipment, not only will the student be expelled, but they will also be permanently banned from ever becoming a magician. Mofin thinks about the reason for his training speed and the fact that he also has 2 powers, and wonders if this necklace could be the reason or if he is truly a great magician, and he is confused. The students start training and unleashing their powers, and it's clear that Mabai and Mofin have both become much stronger than in the last test, and Mabai is unhappy and jealous of Mofin, wondering how he has a place among the top when he is just the son of a driver. Mabai keeps training to prove that he deserves first place, not Mofin, and he wants to do anything to bring him down as usual. Mofin comes and cuts him off, calling him Green Tea Boy, and asks him, "Can I ask you a question?" Mabai is very surprised by the nickname and asks him, "What did you just call me?" Mofin asks him, "Does Yang use the equipment every day like we do, or how does he train?" Mabai shocks him by saying that Yang normally uses it for 4 months a year, but because of his grudge and challenge with Mo, Yang uses it for 6 months. Even the magic apparatus that belongs to the Mo family is used at set times and turns. Even Yang couldn't use it freely because it's expensive and unique, and if anything happened to it, they couldn't get another like it. The Mo family has its own special magic apparatus that no other family has, and it's a special type that has double the effect of the normal one. This magic apparatus is a tool students use to speed up their training power. The normal apparatus speeds up by 20%, while the Mo family speeds up by 40%. Yang has a full 6 months to use the special apparatus with double effect, and very soon he will improve his skill, advance to the 2nd level, and Mofin will have no chance against Yang with that amount of power. This worries Mofin very much, but he doesn't give up and is keen on training, very confident in himself, and goes to continue training, but he is still at the 1st level and tries to find a way to reach the 2nd level. Mofin waits until night when there is no crowd at the equipment and takes the apparatus, which is a bracelet worn on the hand. While training with the apparatus, his necklace starts to move, and Mofin is very surprised. The more he observes it, the more it moves until it turns into a snake, eats the converter, and then turns back to its original form. Mofin is shocked and starts talking to the necklace, telling it that this apparatus's spirit won't be enough to pay for it and that it should return it. While he doesn't know what to do and is frustrated, Teacher Tang walks in, sensing something is wrong, and asks him, "Who are you talking to?" He tells her he likes talking to the stars and changes the subject. But Tang feels something is wrong and tells him, "If you lost the apparatus, tell me how and where, and I'll handle it, because hundreds of people are waiting for your failure and expulsion." Mofin tells her the truth and explains that while training, as Teacher Shui told him, the necklace rose up and swallowed the apparatus, showing her the necklace. Tang is surprised by the necklace and asks him where he got it. Mofin tells her he inherited it from his family. Tang tells him that his necklace is a type of magic apparatus but a special and powerful kind, and that this type has been extinct for a long time. It doesn't work like any ordinary apparatus. It works on very special and advanced abilities and can absorb all the spirits and energy around it to develop, and it is a spiritual grade magic apparatus. Finally, Mofin realizes why his training ability was faster than those around him, and why he was able in 1 year to unleash his elements and even work on 2 elements, not just 1. Mofin is afraid that Miss Tang will accuse him of cheating because of the apparatus, so he tells her he doesn't know how to use it and that she should take it. But she refuses and tells him, "This apparatus is bound to you, keep it with you but hidden, and never show it to anyone." She also tells him that for the apparatus to develop, it needs to swallow other spirits and apparatuses, otherwise, it will be useless. She tells him to forget about the apparatus his necklace swallowed and that she will handle it. Just as Mofin is about to reply, Miss Tang leaves, and Mofin wonders why Miss Tang likes him and helps him in this way. The next day, the school takes them to the ice peaks for magic training, and Tang tells them that any area beyond that will have monsters, so they should be careful and not go beyond the boundaries because they are not ready yet to face monsters. Their mission is to secure the borders of the ice peaks to prevent any monsters from entering for a whole week, 24 hours a day, and the one giving them orders is Mr. Luo, responsible for securing the borders. The students are afraid and ask what they will do if monsters attack them when they are not ready. Miss Tang tells them she is with them to protect them and that they shouldn't worry, and that they must be put under pressure to train properly. All the students salute Miss Tang for her bravery and for putting herself at risk to protect and train them. The buses arrive at the ice peaks, and they meet their training supervisor, whose name is Chan. Chan makes them an offer. He will give them all an A grade and pass them in the exam if they go down with him on a hunting mission. But a student responds, telling him that a hunting mission requires 5 years of experience, and they have not even completed a year of learning magic, and that they will not be able to handle monsters and are too young for such a mission. What will happen to them if they can't complete the mission or don't know how to deal with the monsters? The leader tells them they will fail, and the teacher responds, telling him they are just starting to use magic and that it will be difficult for them. Such a mission can only be done by experts, and even they sometimes fail. Chan tells them they can make any complaint to the school principal and that he cannot pass students without teaching them and involving them in difficult tasks like this. He becomes very angry, as his personality is very sharp and does not accept any criticism. These are students from a secondary magic school, one of the best and strongest schools, so how could the students not be able to defeat monsters? The first lesson they must learn is to defeat any monster that dares to enter their city. He tells them he will reward everyone who completes the mission and succeeds in it with a magic apparatus. He manages to tempt the students this way, and they agree, not thinking about the dangers they will face. The students start getting ready to cross the border and face the monsters, and they are supposed to jump from the top of the ice mountains to cross the border, but they are terrified because below there are many dangers besides the monsters. Still, all the students are forced to jump and go down. As soon as they land, a very strange plant surrounds a student and almost strangles him, but Mabai catches him in time, harnesses the power of ice, and freezes the plant, allowing the student to break free. Then the fire element students come and burn the rest of the plant so it won't hurt anyone else. Their mission is to reach a certain cave where monsters are hiding, make sure there is no monster alive in it, and also search for a bracelet that Investigator Chan lost and tasked them to find. The students are afraid of the monsters, but their fear of failing is much greater. It turns out that Chan sent his soldiers to watch the two teams closely, and anyone who uses their power skillfully gets good grades from him. Tang tells him she is only afraid that the cave might have one-eyed wolves, which are very dangerous for the students. Chan tells her no, there are no wolves, but there is something else, without saying what it is, making Tang more worried. Chan tells her that they must be ready, endure, and be up to it if they want to be perfect and strong magicians. He tells her not to worry and that he has secured the place well. We go to the students, who are anxious and don't know what awaits them, and their classmate Guo reassures them, telling them not to be afraid, that they all protect each other, and to keep in mind how their grades will go up after this mission. They walk with the strongest, the ice element, at the front, the fire element at the back, and in the middle, the light and wind elements. While they are walking, they pass by a river, and Mofin stops, very surprised that the river's level is lower even though there was just rain. He tells them that there must be a monster that came out to drink, and with the amount of water missing, whatever came out isn't small at all but something huge. As they walk and enter the cave, suddenly they encounter a one-eyed wolf, and they are all scared and run except Mabai, who steps forward and tries to harness all his power but gets nervous from fear and fails. Gua comes to attack the wolf, but Mofin pulls her away, runs, and tells her she won't be able to handle it. We discover that this is the spirit wolf of one of the leaders and that it would never hurt them, that this is just a test, and they all got scared and ran away from it. Until now, no one has dared to attack it. Chan says he would be happy if someone just unleashed any magic skill, not necessarily defeat the wolf. Tang is very impressed by the opportunity he created, making the students train through battle while not putting their lives in danger, and at the same time letting them gain great experience. She greatly admires his thinking. We go back to the students, who don't know what to do, and they all leave the cave except Mabai, who stays and attacks it with all his strength but to no avail, only managing to freeze one of the wolf's legs. Guo runs to fight with him, but her power also doesn't harm the wolf at all. Zhou, a student of the lightning element, attacks and manages to paralyze the wolf for only a very short time. The wolf gets back up and tries to attack them, and now it is Mofin's turn to step in. He says that first-level magic doesn't affect it and someone from the second level must attack it. Mofin attacks it with great force, injuring the wolf, and Chan is very impressed by him and his abilities. But suddenly something unexpected happens. The spirit wolf no longer listens to its leader, and now the students are in real danger. The leader and his army get ready to go save the students from the danger they themselves put them in. The wolf comes out of the river, trying to cool itself down after Mofin's fire attack, and it is fierce, its eyes red, wanting to take revenge for what happened to it, to the point that it doesn't listen to its owner and wants to harm all the students present. The students had thought they had defeated the wolf, but they are shocked when they see it get up again. The wolf goes to attack Gua, but Jiang goes and saves her with the power of wind, and they hide. All the students start looking for a place to hide, and Mofin goes to draw the wolf's attention to make it chase him so it won't hurt any student. The only ones capable of fighting the wolf had lost consciousness from its first attack, so Mofin is put in a big dilemma. Jiang and Mofin lure the wolf and go inside the cave to get it away from the rest of the students. Guo wakes up and wants to go save them, but at that moment, Leader Chan arrives, asking about them and about the wolf's location. Guo tells him they went into the cave. Jiang and Mofin reach the end of the cave, not knowing what to do. The wolf starts attacking them, goes for Jiang, and injures him to the point that he loses consciousness. Mofin steps in and is forced to reveal his second element, lightning, summoning it with all his power and attacking the wolf, but only slowing its movement. Mofin thinks about how he could kill it and notices there are protrusions in the cave ceiling. If he knocks them down onto the wolf, it will die. Indeed, Mofin launches his second attack, this time with the fire element, breaking the protrusions in the cave and killing the wolf. Finally, Leader Chan arrives after Mofin has killed the wolf and is very shocked at how a student at his level could kill such a strong wolf. We find that after the wolf completely dies, Mofin's magic apparatus absorbs its spirit, thus evolving, and Mofin is happy. The rest of the leaders and teachers arrive, thinking Leader Chan was the one who killed the wolf, even though it would have been easy for him to keep it under control without killing it. But he tells them Mofin was the one who killed it, and they are all shocked that Mofin killed one of the strongest spirit wolves, suspecting Leader Chan was the one who did it. Mofin tells them, I was the one who killed it. It was about to kill me and Jiang, so I had to act. They ask him, so this wasn't a monster, it was just a spirit wolf? One leader replies, telling him it was just training, but they lost control of it, and all of them became its victims. They all admire Mofin's thinking in luring the wolf into the cave, saying that without this move, there would have been many casualties. The leader who owned the spirit wolf is very sad about its death and furious that the one who killed it was just a student. The teacher tells them they must have learned the lesson, that they were put in a situation where they couldn't use their magic power due to fear and anxiety, and that real monsters are even more savage and brutal. Leader Chan tells them he is not impressed with anyone's performance and that situations like this require courage and focus, unlike what they did. He gives a grades to all the students who participated in the attack, like Ma Bai, Gua, and Jiang, while Mofin gets an S grade. One student reminds him he promised to give his magic armor as a prize to the student with the best performance and that Mofin deserves that title. Leader Chan doesn't remember saying anything like that and is embarrassed in front of the students. The teacher adds that since the mission succeeded, all the students will get an A mark as the leader promised them, embarrassing him further because he hadn't expected the mission to succeed and hadn't considered the possibility of all this happening. The leader starts handing out the honor badges, and after honoring Mofin, he is still wondering how Mofin could kill a wolf using only fire power, saying it's impossible and that Mofin is hiding a big secret. He wants to go search the place where the wolf was killed for any evidence. His thoughts are interrupted by one of the soldiers telling him that monsters have entered the western area, known as skeleton wolves. The leader gets furious, saying, how dare the monsters breach the magician's territory, and orders the army to prepare to eliminate the monsters. After 2 months of Ice Peak's training, Mofin reached the second level of the ignition technique, all thanks to the apparatus, and he remembers what happened during the training when he burned the wolf, but it wasn't enough power to kill it, and he wanted to reach a higher level than that. He wants to bring lightning magic to the second level, but it is difficult to do that because there is no one to help him and no one knows about his second element. Still, Mofin tries to train with the hardest thing he has and asks himself how he will reach the second level of the lightning element, feeling very eager to see his power. He doesn't know how to summon lightning power after spending the past year training only with the fire element. Suddenly, he remembers when the wolf attacked Jiang and the lightning power appeared when he feared for him, and also that it wasn't what killed the wolf. If not for the protrusions he knocked down on it, it wouldn't have died. He also remembers Miss Tang's words that the apparatus would increase his training speed by 40% but must be fed well to see results. But the things needed to feed the necklace are very expensive. Mofin goes in disguise to the hunter's hall and learns they are looking for a hunter to bring a certain type of herb from outside the border with a reward of 150,000. Mofin is very happy, saying he will gain experience and at the same time get the money he can use to upgrade his apparatus. Other magicians stand in front of the announcement thinking the mission is easy, but a magician tells them the place is full of one-eyed wolves and that even expert hunters wouldn't have a chance against them if they appeared. So the hunters leave that mission and see another one requested by the army to rebuild the icy areas at the borders. But there is a note saying there is a skeleton wolf roaming the area. The reward is 300,000, but the same magician discourages them, saying they are just intermediate-level magicians and if they go, they are going to their doom. They lose hope and say they will go to the city hunters team as their last hope, having heard that the members' benefits and rewards there are very good. And since they are inside the city there is no great harm, unlike the ice hunters who spend all their time in the wilderness among monsters, always in danger. But the magician shuts them down again, telling them city hunters are only interested in recruiting elite magicians, not just any magician, and that they shouldn't even think about it. They lose hope and leave, while Mofin is sitting there hearing everything. Mofin goes to ask one of the magicians how to apply to the city hunters, and he points him to a long line and tells him to go there to apply. The magician asks him about his element, and Mofin says, why is it important for you to know? The magician is surprised, so he tells him they always choose fire element right away, even if your proficiency isn't high. Mofin asks, what if my element is lightning? The magician laughs and tells him lightning magicians are 1 in 1,000, and of course, they will choose him immediately once he applies. He also tells him the important thing here is why a lightning magician would apply to such a random team, as they are usually discovered by wealthy families and funded by them. Mofin asks if the city hunters might accept a lightning element, and the magician says, of course. Mofin goes immediately to apply, standing in the long line where it's clear everyone is being rejected. The commander running the test is unimpressed with anyone, calling them all a bunch of loser kids, not even reaching the second level. He is very angry with the magicians coming to him, saying he wants real magicians, ones with experience, power, skill, willpower, all in one magician who can be relied on to protect the city. His assistants tell him it's very hard to find a magician with all those qualities. Mofin's turn comes, and the guards at the door ask him if he finished school. He says yes and is wearing a mask, hiding his identity in case someone recognizes him. They ask why he is applying for the test, but Mofin doesn't answer, feeling embarrassed. They ask for his name and tell him he must be at an advanced level for the commander to accept him. The guard asks for his hunter's certificate, but Mofin says he doesn't have one and that he is a lightning element user. The guards are shocked and tell him he'd better not be joking, as they know lightning magicians don't reveal themselves easily. But Mofin proves it to them by summoning the lightning element. The commander accepts him immediately. Mofin tells him he doesn't have a hunter's certificate, doesn't know how to hunt monsters, and has no experience. But the commander tells him he will issue him a certificate, train him, and get him used to hunting monsters, telling him not to worry about anything. He tells Mofin his level is first in the lightning element. The commander says that is very good for lightning and that training in it is harder compared to other elements. He welcomes Mofin to the team and tells all the other applicants to leave because he found what he wanted. He introduces Mofin to the team, the first being Sai, an ice magician from the Mo family, and Mofin pretends she doesn't know his face. Next, he introduces him to Shiko, a water magician who is very kind and welcomes him to the team. Then someone comes and whispers to the commander that there has been another monster attack and the team needs to act immediately. The commander tells Mofin to come because they have a mission, and Mofin says he is part of the team after all, so the commander agrees. The team moves to the location of the monsters, and we discover this place is the girls' school where Xian, Mofin's sister, is. He tries calling her, but she doesn't answer, making him very worried. As soon as they arrive, the commander starts dividing the tasks among them. Mofin goes to look for Xian, but at that moment she calls him, telling him there was an attack at her school. She forgot her phone, and is calling from the public phone. She tells him something is hiding in their school, but she doesn't know what it is. She tells him her friend is still inside the school, having gone to the cafeteria, and she didn't have time to tell her to leave the school with her. Suddenly, while Mofin is talking to Xian, a huge monster appears in front of him. The monster starts attacking Mofin, spewing fire from its eyes capable of burning down the entire building. As soon as the rest of the team hears the sound of the attacks, they run to see where he is. We return to Mofin as the monster keeps attacking him, and Mofin dodges the strikes, but finally, the team arrives and tells Mofin they will handle it and that he should step back so nothing happens to him since he's just a beginner. The team starts attacking the monster, but it is stronger than them. Mofin just stands watching them, learning from their experience and how they attack and defend themselves. It goes to attack the leader, whose element is fire. She tries to burn the monster, and her fire element is at the third stage, dealing heavy burns to the monster. Then its size turn to harness the ice element and attack. But the monster attacks her and injures her, forcing Mofin to step in with the lightning element, attacking it and completely paralyzing its movement. The monster dies, and the commander is very happy with his quick reaction and how he saved an important team member, telling him, "I'll officially accept you into the team with us," and adding, "I'm confident you'll become a skilled hunter." Mofin is very happy because once he becomes an official member, he gets his full salary. The same thing that happened when Mofin killed the spirit wolf happens again. The necklace absorbs its spirit, and here too, the necklace absorbs the monster's spirit. Mofin is worried and anxious that the team might notice the necklace or even the aura around it. But he remembers Miss Tang's words that there are only 5 pure spirits that are useful for evolving the necklace, and the rest of the spirits won't be very useful. He wonders what kind of monsters will yield a pure spirit. The team realizes they forgot the most important thing, the missing girl, and they can't find her anywhere in the school. A hunter tells the commander he found a tunnel behind the cafeteria, and they go search it, suspecting the remaining monsters trapped the girl inside. The commander tells them the girl is surely in danger and they must go quickly to find her. The commander tells Shiko to inform the Magic Council because there will likely be too many monsters for them to handle. This type of monster is one-eyed rats, which are very strong. The commander keeps praising Mofin, telling him he thought he would be a burden during training but turned out to be very skilled. The commander teases Chai, telling her that since he saved her, she should marry him, making Chai very embarrassed. Shiko says Chai has no chance because they found Mofin's phone and it had 10 missed calls from a girl, not knowing that this girl is Mofin's sister, and the whole team laughs. The team leaves, and Mofin heads home, meeting Xian on the way. She runs to him, thinking he was dead, crying, but Mofin reassures her, telling her he is a magician now and naturally faces danger. He cheers her up, telling her he killed the one-eyed rat in her school. He tells her not to worry about him but to worry about herself and protect herself well, and that he won't forgive her if anything happens to her since he won't always be near her. Xian asks if he was the one who killed the monster, and Mofin says, of course, telling her everything that happened, making Xian very proud and happy. The next day, the commander gives Mofin his monthly salary, telling him that because of his impressive performance despite being new to the team, he's giving him a full official salary like the rest of the team. Mofin thanks him, and it's clear the commander likes him a lot and is pleased with him. We go to Mr. Mo checking on his son Yuang and his training, not forgetting that his battle with Mofin is approaching. He asks him how his training is going, and Yuang says his training is slow and he's not happy with himself. Mo replies, how can you say slow when you're at the second level? Everyone in the family is still at the first level, you should be proud of yourself. He tells him he can freeze a large area of ice, and with more training, the area will be much larger, and tells him not to convince himself he's slow, that he is special and should be proud of it. He tells him he must put all his efforts into training and that if he defeats Mofin, he will give him a very big reward. Yuang tells him not to worry at all about that matter. Yuang asks him why he's so interested in such a trivial battle, and Mo tells him it will create some excitement in the school and that this will help him take control of the city and prove he's one of the strongest magicians around. He also tells him there is another very important battle whose details he will tell him later, but that he must be ready at any time. We go to Ma by speaking with his uncle Mo, telling him they must consider the possibility of Mofin winning and what would happen if he did. Mo laughs and tells him it's impossible for Mofin to win against Yuang and that he shouldn't worry, there isn't even the slightest chance. Suddenly, a large crack opens from the ground, and beneath it are one-eyed rat monsters releasing a massive beam of fire from underground. Jiang arrives and asks him where he has been lately, saying he has been missing and rarely seen at school. Mofin tells him he has been keeping the city safe. Jiang changes the subject, thinking Mofin is joking, and tells him that Zhou, the girl he saved at the ice peaks, has been asking about him a lot, and it's clear she likes him. Zhou arrives and asks Mofin to meet her at the back school gate at night. Mofin is surprised but goes to meet her and waits. Finally, Zhou arrives and tells him this was where the earthquake happened. Mofin asks, "What earthquake?" Not understanding. Zhou says her grandmother lives nearby and hears earthquake sounds and strange noises at the construction site at night, which people interpret as ghost sounds. She says she suspects this is a place for monsters and wants to move her grandmother, but her grandmother refuses because she has lived there many years and is deeply attached to the place. Mofin asks her, "So what do you want and why bring me here?" Zhou tells him she wants him to explore the place with her and find out what's happening, and she chose him because he is the strongest magician in school and she can rely on him. Mofin agrees just not to embarrass her, saying he will take a look and tell her. He starts climbing the gate and building to reach the sound source, happy because he is already part of the city's hunter team and has killed about 800 monsters so far. Zhou follows him to help. Mofin asks her when the earthquake usually happens. Zhou says it has no set time but is usually at night. Mofin starts sprinkling powder, which we learn is a monster detector. Zhou is surprised and asks where he bought it, whether people really sell it, saying she heard only hunters have it and know how to use it. As soon as he sprinkles the powder on the ground, the monster's tracks appear. Zhou is scared and shocked, asking if the powder is wrong and saying it seems there really are monsters. Mofin says it's not normal for monsters to be inside the city and that something suspicious is going on. Zhou asks what the solution is and says they must quickly inform the city hunters, not knowing he's on the team. Mofin smiles without answering. He investigates the footprints and realizes they are not from one-eyed rats but from another type of monster. He tells her the monster is hiding here and she must be careful. Suddenly, they hear a very loud sound, and the monster appears with red eyes, looking very fierce. It is feeding on victims who entered without knowing what awaited them, busy tearing them apart. Zhou tells Mofin they must leave, as they are just students and can never defeat the monster. We discover the monster is from the one-eyed wolf species, one of the fiercest monster species. Mofin says the wolf is very smart, having secured a hiding place and victims to feed on, and wonders how many it could kill if not exposed or killed. He tells her the wolf looks different from the picture their teacher showed them, and something about it has changed from the others of its kind. Zhou says it's almost twice the size of a normal wolf. She cries, telling Mofin they must escape quickly, that what happened with the spirit wolf during training was enough, and they should leave it to specialists. She tells him they will be its next victims if they don't run immediately. Mofin tells her to calm down, that the wolf hasn't seen them yet and is focused on eating its prey. He tells her to go find her grandmother, order the people in the area to evacuate immediately, and take them far away. Then she should call the police to surround the area so no one enters and gets hurt. Zhou makes a very foolish move and calls the police before leaving, and the phone's ring draws the monster's attention. It charges at them quickly, but Mofin grabs Zhou and runs with her. He yells at her, saying they should have learned monsters are attracted to all kinds of communication devices, and she shouldn't have used her phone while still near the monster. He tells her that instead of calling the police to tell them their location, she just told the monster their location. Mofin attacks the monster with the fire element, creating a wall of fire between him, Zhou, and the monster so it can't cross, but the monster breaks through the fire and chases them. Mofin runs and hides, telling Zhou to do what he told her and that he will distract it and handle it. Zhou is surprised, asking how he can handle it alone. Mofin says he has a plan and she should just go quickly, call for help, and evacuate. Suddenly, the monster finds them and attacks, but Zhou escapes while Mofin distracts it and attacks with lightning power. The wolf is very strong, but luckily Mofin has the magical reward shield from Leader Chan during training, which protects him greatly from monster attacks. Without it, he would be dead from such strong attacks. The monster attacks him again, weakening Mofin, and he can't get up. Luckily, Zhou has called the police and city hunters, who arrive at the right moment and attack the wolf, freezing its legs and saving Mofin. They don't know this is Mofin who works with them on the team and think he's someone else, saying he's supposed to be the best at the High School of Magic but ran away cowardly when faced with monsters. They also say that killing the spirit wolf must have been just a trick and a story he made up, but Sai stops them, telling them to stop talking about Mofin and that the most important thing now is finding a way to capture this monster, which is stronger than normal ones and many times their size, and they must be very careful. We learn the place where the monster was staying has a great power underneath called the power of the spring, which made it stronger, faster, and bigger than others of its kind. Sai calls the commander, telling him to ask Fan Imo to come because they need his lightning power to paralyze the wolf. Mofin has given them a name other than his own so they won't easily recognize him. The commander calls Mofin, telling him to come because the team needs him. As usual, Mofin disguises himself and goes immediately. The commander scolds Mofin for coming late, telling him he sent them the monster's location but came last, and that the evolved monster could have killed them at any moment, and indeed no one can handle it at all. But the commander says it's not the time to talk about that and tells him to use lightning magic to paralyze it. They have frozen it with ice power to keep it still. The commander is puzzled about helping because his element is fire, and if he interferes, he will melt all the ice around the wolf and free it. If he doesn't help, it will be hard to damage the wolf's skin with only ice and lightning. Other elements must intervene. The commander has called reinforcements from the Magic Council, especially Yang Zhou, Professor Mo's son, because they can't control the wolf alone. He tells them they will only try to knock it unconscious or freeze it until Yang arrives, and warns them that the city's residents are nearby and many casualties will occur if they fail in this mission. Suddenly, while the commander is talking, the wolf breaks the ice around it and recovers from Mofin's lightning strike. The wolf is evolving to a stage beyond its current one, and the team is very afraid, expecting they will die and not knowing what to do. One of the team tells the leader that they must retreat now or they will die, but the leader tells him that the city hunters cannot say that, and that if he looks around, he will see houses everywhere and that their mission is to protect the people and they cannot retreat now at all. The monster begins to evolve to its strongest level, and the magicians are scared and tell the leader that their level is intermediate and how will they be able to face the monster. The leader does not reply and gives them orders, telling them to try to freeze its body again until Yang arrives, but the monster's body is boiling and evolving and the ice is not affecting it. The leader attacks it with flames and manages to defeat the wolf, and they think it is dead, but it turns out the wolf is alive and attacks them, its eyes full of sparks, wanting to kill them any way possible. But Sai intervenes and makes an ice shield around them to block the monster's attack. However, the monster breaks through the shield. It was only meant to buy time for the team to escape. Indeed, the team manages to get to a higher area from which they can attack the monster, except the leader stays and starts attacking the monster, but with no use. The whole team begins directing attacks at the monster with the elements of fire and ice, but it is of no use. The monster is not affected. Mofin must step in, attacking it with lightning and trying to slow its movement a bit, but the monster starts adapting to lightning and no longer gets affected. All this time, Fan is directing lightning at the monster, hoping to kill it. Meanwhile, the team is trying to convince the leader that they must leave and that if they stay, they will die. With their current level, they cannot kill it at all. But the leader gets angry at them, telling them that if they retreat now, thousands of civilians will die, while if they keep trying against the monster, only a few of them will die and they will protect the city. He tells them that they are members of the city hunters, and on what basis, if their determination and persistence to kill the monster is less than that of a beginner, and that they have greatly disappointed him. The team is somewhat motivated and all try to direct their attacks at the wolf at once. Suddenly Yang appears, directing water and wind attacks, and with 2 strikes, he is able to kill the wolf. Mofin goes to talk to him and asks him about his level, and we learn that his level is very advanced and that he has 2 elements, water and wind, like Fan. Yang tells him that his level is very good and that he will become a very skilled magician in the future and that he must develop his lightning magic, as its advanced level is stronger than any other element. Team members are very impressed with Yang and how he was able to defeat the monster with just 2 strikes, and they tell him that if he had not appeared at the right moment, they would have been dead. They also tell him that the number of monsters in the city is increasing and they do not know why, and that a large number of big-eyed rats have recently appeared out of nowhere. They tell him that usually the one-eyed wolf appears at the ice peaks, and it is the first time it appears in the middle of the city, and that they must sound the monster alarm in the city. But Yang tells them that if they sound the alarm, it will create chaos and the citizens will be scared. All they have to do now is increase the manpower and enhance the support to be able to handle the monsters. Yang changes the subject and asks them since when they had a new member, and not only that, but a lightning magician, as it is rare to find a lightning magician these days among magicians. They tell him that they found him during the tests and that he was the only one the leader liked, and Yang tells them that of course the leader would like him, he is a lightning magician. Mofin returns to the school, trying to sneak in so no one sees him, but finds Chu waiting for him, crying, and thanking him for everything he did and for saving her grandmother, telling him that her grandmother is very dear to her and has been living with her for years, and if anything had happened to her, she would not have known what to do without her. Mofin tells her not to cry, that it's good her grandmother is fine, that he did nothing, and that he had to help her. Mofin goes to train and finds that his chain is evolving, and is very happy that by the end of the year he will have reached the 3rd level, and according to Miss Tang, this chain will enhance his training speed more than any other equivalent. The next day, Mofin goes to his sister to check on her and gives her money to buy a phone to replace the one she lost during the rat attack on the school, telling her to always stay in touch with him and if there is any attack or anything suspicious to inform him immediately. His sister is happy but at the same time wonders how he managed to gather all this money, and she is suspicious of him and refuses to take the money, telling him that he should save it as it will benefit them in the future. But Mofin tells her that he earned it from his job and that she knows once you become a magician with a good level, you earn good money, especially since he is a lightning and fire magician, reassuring her. He tells her to keep the money with her and get a phone because last time she disappeared when the monster attacked the school and he couldn't contact her, and he was very worried about her. He also tells her to keep money to buy clothes, not just the phone. She is embarrassed and has to take the money, and tells him she has good news to tell him. Mofin asks her what it is, and she tells him she has awakened the healing element. Mofin is surprised and tells her isn't that the white element. His knowledge is that magicians can only summon the basic elements and that she must be at a high level to be able to summon white magic, black magic, and dimensional magic too. But his sister tells him that her teacher said there are exceptions and that she is special. She tells Mofin that she knows he works a dangerous job and that she has reached a good magical level and that she must help him next time in his missions, and that this will also benefit her a lot in training. But Mofin reassures her, telling her it is not dangerous, that he only kills a few weak monsters, that he has a full team helping him, and that she should not worry at all. He tells her he is very happy for her and that he has never seen healing magic before. She tells him that she will be able to reach the 7-star path soon and will show him her magic. Mofin jokes with her, saying that he must get injured so she can train on him. But his sister looks at him, very worried about him, while Mofin laughs and tells her he is joking and that he will take care of himself and that she must do the same. Mofin sits talking with Zhang and tells him that time passes very fast, that in the morning he is at school and at night he hunts monsters, so naturally he doesn't feel the time. So Zhang is shocked and tells him, hunting monsters? But Mofin changes the subject and asks him about the name of the magic university he wants to enter. Zhang tells him that he hasn't thought yet and will leave everything for its time. He won't rush, remembers that the battle between Mofin and Yang is near and that he heard that Imo invited many famous and influential people to watch the battle. He also tells him that the battle will be on Yang's birthday and will be a big celebration day, and this is to make Mofin embarrassed in the battle. But Zhang encourages him and tells him that now he is the best magician in the magic high school and that he is confident he will win. Mofin says that Imo invited all these people because he is sure he will lose and lose in front of the world in public and that his adopted son is the one who wins, and Miss Tang interrupts them and calls Mofin and tells him that the president is looking for him and wants to talk to him. Mofin is very surprised and goes immediately to see what the president wants, and the president wants him regarding the battle and tells him that he must bear the consequences of his actions and his reply to Imo, and because of him Imo made the battle a big matter and invited some of the most important people in the magic field. The president asks Mofin, do you know why he made the battle so important? So Mofin says because the battle day is Yang's birthday, the heir of the Imo family, and he will turn 18. The president says that is one reason, but there is a more important reason, so Mofin is surprised, and asks him, what is it? The president tells him this battle is related to the underground sacred spring, and the sacred spring is a place with a huge amount of energy, and if any magician enters to train there, he has a big chance to become an advanced level magician. So Mofin asks him, what does that have to do with the battle? The president says that whoever wins the battle will have the right to enter the sacred spring, and one of the sacred spring rules is that no more than one magician can enter each year because it is a very rare place. And that Imo cares a lot about his image and will do everything he can to show off Yang in front of all the guests, and also to teach Mofin a lesson because of his attitude with him, and tells him Yang's chances of winning are more than yours because he is from a wealthy family that provided him with all training equipment, and that Mofin should try to do all he can in front of the well-known guests and that if Mofin wins, he will preserve the school's name and honor it. We come to the day of the battle and Imo has made the best preparations and arranged everything to honor heir Yang. Everyone is convinced that Mofin will lose and won't find a chance against Yang to win. And also the servants know Mofin's father Mr. Xing as a good and honest man and don't know how Mofin is the son of this man. We go to Imo while he is talking to his daughter and telling her that Yang is to be considered her right-hand shield after that and that he is Mo's heir and she must encourage and support him. But Su is not interested in his words and is upset with him because of the month of the battle and making it in a big arena. So Imo asks her if she is worried about Yang or about Mofin, and tells her that he is sworn against Mofin and that he hates him and won't let him get away easily without teaching him a lesson he will never forget. He tells her, I know what you are thinking. There is no comparison between the best student in the magic high school and a person from a noble family which is the Imo family. So his daughter gets angry at his words, leaves him, and walks away. Su goes to meet Mofin for the first time after what happened years ago, and he is sitting on a high peak watching the place where the battle will be held after the preparations, and he is surprised at how all these people will come and sit just for a battle and someone's birthday, and he tells Su that he is very excited for the duel. Su thinks that Yang won't give up and won't leave without being victorious over Mofin, and she says she wishes Mofin could leave the city and go, and Mofin cuts her thoughts asking her what she is thinking about. But Su refuses to tell him so as not to discourage him. She tells him she found Yang when he was young in the street and took him to Imo who raised and grew him and had a great favor on Yang. That is why Yang will do all he can to win the battle for Imo and restore his dignity and will never give up no matter what, so she is very worried about him. Mofin tells her he is ready for the battle and will never give up, but Su gets angry at him and tells him, I am telling you to leave the city and run. But Mofin does not listen to her and changes the subject and asks her about her magic level, so she tells him she is at the advanced level. She tells him that the entrance exams for magic universities will be after a month and that after his battle with Yang he won't be able or have the strength to go register and will lose his future. So it is better not to attend the battle. And Sue tries to convince him in all possible ways, but Mofin is not agreeing and tells her he wants to prove to his father that he is up to it. He tells her about his father, that he always takes care of him and sold everything he had and humbled himself just to get him into the magic school and always covered for him if any problem happened. And we also know that Xin is not Mofin's biological sister but that his father found her and took care of her as if she was his daughter exactly. He tells her, put yourself in my place and you see your father bowing to other people just to get you into a school you love, what would you feel? So you can't ask him now to simply withdraw from the battle. We come to the day of the battle and everyone is present, even the city hunters attend, and Mofin goes to greet them but they insult him and forget that they don't know Mofin's character, they only know Fan Mo who always wears a mask, and he leaves them and turns his back to go. But they keep looking at him and his walk is very familiar to them but they are not connecting anything. Mofin enters and finds all the food placed for free and starts eating, and everyone is surprised at how he is not seeing the size of the problem he is entering and is just sitting there relaxed. And the leader of the Ice Peaks team comes and tells Mofin that he insulted very big names including Mo and his family, and he admires him and tells him after he graduates to join his team. But Mofin tells him he loves the city more than the mountains and forests and refuses for the second time, and the leader leaves. And Mofin finds that his school friends came to attend the battle and encourage him and tell him he is the representative of the magic high school and must win and raise his school's name. Zhang tells him that they put their father's name in the guest list so he comes to watch, and asks him if Mo is behind this. Mofin is not interested in hearing anyone's words and just keeps eating, and Zhang says it's not important, let him come and see his son winning, and Mofin has great confidence in himself. The battle preparations begin and Yang and Mofin get ready and enter the battle arena. And before they start, Mr. Mo greets them and welcomes everyone present and keeps praising Yang while completely ignoring Mofin, and Mofin does not care at all and just wants to put all his focus on the battle. Mofin shakes hands with Yang to start the battle. Yang tells him he will make him stay in the hospital for at least 3 months after the battle, but Mofin tells him to worry about himself. The duel begins and the first thing Yang attacks Mofin with an ice sweep of the second level, but Mofin blocks the attack with first level ignition, and Mofin attacks him at the same time with an ash of ignition attack, but Yang is very fast and moves from place to place. But Mofin does not focus on him and tries to attack him for the second time, but Yang has magical equipment and uses one of them, which is the magical earth element shield that lets him fly and avoid all of Mofin's attacks. And everyone is impressed by Mofin's performance and the accuracy of his spells, but he has no chance against Yang's magical equipment. Yang tells him he won't make an effort with him and hopes he doesn't waste his time and that the second level of fire will never affect him, and he attacks Yang with a very strong ice sweep of the third level, but Mofin tries to ignite fire around himself so he won't freeze and resists with all his strength. Mofin is in big trouble and doesn't know what to do, and Yang tells him that this weak spark of fire will not be able to resist his ice sweep and to surrender, and indeed Mofin's flame goes out and he is close to freezing. All the attendees are shocked that the Mo family managed to train Yang in 1 year to reach the third level of ice and that this is hard to happen, and they are also impressed with Mofin's performance. Everyone thinks Mofin is frozen, but he shocks them that he managed to reach the third level and releases a very strong flame and attacks Yang with it and is able to hit him for real, and Yang cannot get up but tries and does, and tells Mofin he is wearing armor from magical tools that is hard to penetrate and that is why he was not badly injured. Mo did not expect Yang would need to use the magical armor against Mofin and thought the battle would end easily and that Mofin would surrender. He did not account for all this, and Mo says he underestimated Mofin and that he is not easy and should have taken bigger precautions. All the attendees disagree with this battle and that in the end this battle is between two young men and they might hurt each other, and also that Yang is supplied with a large number of magical tools and that this is too much for such a battle. And they also tell Mo that Yang has magical tools unlike Mofin and that this is not fair at all in the battle. So Mo tells them that if Mofin could get magical equipment he would not stop him from wearing it, but he is from a poor family. Commander Chan stands up and tells Mofin that Yang is wearing armor resistant to his fire and that no matter if he drains all his magic he will not be able to harm him. Yang confirms Commander Chan's words and tells him he is right, listen to them and surrender and admit defeat, and this is a completely unfair battle, and he tells him to blame his father who could not get him the equipment because he has no money. And these words anger Mofin a lot and he remembers his talk with his father when he told him that he managed and got him into the school he wanted, that he did all he could to get him in and that he is confident in him, and Mofin is encouraged and begins to summon all his strength and reveals to them the lightning power and shocks them all, and no one expected such a thing and they all wonder how he has two elements while he has not even reached the advanced level. The moment he reveals the lightning power the city hunters recognize him and know that Fan Mo is their team member, and they are very proud of him. And Mofin forms a very big lightning ring of the third level, and Yang is shocked and Mofin tells him he forgot to tell him that he can summon lightning power also of the third level. Mofin combines the fire power with the lightning power both of the third level, and attacks Yang with it and is able to break the magical armor and reach Yang and defeat him. All the teachers and commanders are happy with Mofin and shocked at the same time at how he managed to achieve the third level of both elements by himself without any help from them, and they see Mofin as a legend that will never be repeated. Yang still has breath and tries to get up but cannot, and finds Mofin standing in front of him with lightning coming from one hand and fire from the other and cannot understand how this happened and is afraid to attack Mofin and surrenders, and Mofin tells him he is the main character and that he and Mr. Mo will apologize to his father as they agreed until his father forgives them.